we want to get to one to watch. And speaking of big banks, I think you have one of those very big banks for us on one to watch this week, right?
Right. I'm definitely watching JPMorgan Chase. So far, we've heard from 4 major banks. We've heard from them. We've heard from Wells Fargo, whose earnings were good but not fantastic. We've heard from Goldman Sachs, whose earnings were just kind of left something to be desired. And Citigroup was also a revenue miss, but looked okay. JP Morgan has been the absolute standout of bank earnings so far. They keep growing every quarter. I think it can't get that much better. They can't distance themselves that much more above the rest of the pack, and they continue to do so. That return on equity number I mentioned earlier, 16%. I mean, that's something that would have been unheard of for one of the big banks just a few years ago. So I think JP Morgan Chase is definitely one to watch in banking.
There you go. I'm gonna throw an insurance company into the mix here. One I've talked about before. I used to work there. Travelers, the big red umbrella. It has been a very good year thus far for Travelers, and they have earnings coming up later this week. So just be interested to hear how they see this year setting up, and if anything stands out, we'll certainly be talking about it on next week's show. But yeah, I feel like Travelers is one that's always snuck under the radar here. Certainly, when it comes to our services, it always surprised me that Travelers was never a company that was actually recommended. But it is one that you hear Buffett also talk a lot about. In fact, I think that Berkshire still owns Travelers in their portfolio. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure they own some of the Travelers companies in their portfolio. So
it's one of the few insurance companies they don't own outright but still invest in.
Yep, man, that's interesting. I mean, I do talk about those big acquisitions that they're looking for. I mean, maybe something like the Travelers maybe that big red umbrella would look very nice underneath that big Berkshire umbrella. Perhaps. Maybe. We'll see one day.